All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me this morning for our Talking Point Tuesdays. Today we're going to discuss how to build a referral network. Ideally, if done correctly, building referral networks should mostly eliminate the need for smaller businesses to cold call at all. So if you came here today hoping to learn how to never pick up the phone again, I'm sorry that's not going to work out for you, but you will learn how to develop a network that will involve only warm calling. So that's exciting. A little bit about myself. I've been prospecting for over 20 years now. Our current MSP client roster includes over 30 companies in different areas. We have over 35 telemarketers here. I think we're probably creeping up on the 50 mark, to be honest. I still cold call every week, so I feel like I'm not teaching in a vacuum. I am actually practicing the things that I share with my audience. And we can train a new cold caller here in about a week. The other stuff is just bragging, but I like to put it on there. So a little bit of information about Managed Sales Pros for those of you who've never participated in any of our webinars and don't know very much about us. We went from $0 to $250,000 in monthly recurring revenue in under 3 years. So we have tried to develop our business as closely in tune with what a managed service provider would do as possible, so that when we pitched our value proposition to IT companies, it sounded very much like their own value proposition. We'll take care of the cold calling and you run your business. We still use cold calling as our primary driver of revenue. However, we don't use it exclusively. Like every other business, we have webinars like this one. We host lunch and learns. We participate in trade shows. We have an email newsletter, and we use Twitter. But our biggest source of new leads is still partner and client referrals. With the big difference being this: we don't wait for people to send referrals to us. We go looking for them. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is growth within your base. 60% of your growth should be coming from within your client base. And that's because it's easier to cross-sell and upsell than it is to find net new opportunities. Your cost of acquisition is lower. Reducing your churn is the key to long-term growth and success. So the longer you can keep a client and the more you can sell to them, the more successful your business will become. When happy, your current clients are going to be your biggest source of warm leads. So the more clients you have on your roster and the happier those clients are, the more opportunities you're going to have to sell to their peers, to their clients, to their friends. So if you build your referral network on a solid base, you may never have to cold call again. I'm not going to guarantee you're never going to cold call again. I'm still cold calling. You'll probably have to do it too, but you'll have to do a whole lot less of it if you've got a whole team of happy clients helping you find new business opportunity. So how do you begin building your base into a sales engine? First and foremost, you need to connect and engage more often with more purpose. So those kind of idle reach out every quarter calls, stop doing that. Every time you reach out to your prospect, you want to have a specific purpose in mind for contacting them. You want to have an action item at the end of the call, a commitment from them, something that you're going to do to help your business or their business move forward. I would like to encourage you to consider stopping using email as your go-to way to communicate with your clients. Email is quick and easy, and emails get lost pretty frequently, and it's pretty difficult to develop a relationship with somebody using email as your only means of communication. It's fast, it's impersonal, and it doesn't convey feelings. You really edit an email for facts more often than anything else. So you're going to write your email, you're going to look at it, you're like, oh, I don't like the way that sounds. I sound a little bit cranky there, or maybe I can make this sound a little more professional. You're essentially editing all of the feeling out of your emails, and your clients are doing the same thing. So for larger problems, for example, email is allowing everybody to carefully choose and edit their words. instead of allowing for organic discussion. So if I am angry with a provider, for example, I am going to go out of my way to craft a carefully worded email that hopefully conveys how upset I am without sounding like an unprofessional, horrible person. As we both edit our responses back and forth, we're probably never going to get down to the root cause of what happened, right? We're never going to have that kind of, argument that you would have with a spouse or a friend or a partner or a coworker where you're face to face and somebody finally just says, here's why I'm angry, and then something starts to get resolved. That doesn't happen via email. Everybody is just on their best behavior all the time, because what if somebody forwards the email to somebody else? This takes me to how you're going to start building your referral network. You need to start finding what we describe as happy evangelists. So every company has 3 types of clients, right? You have your happy evangelists, and these are outliers. You have your already gones, and those are also outliers. And then everybody else is in what we call the danger zone. And if any of you watch Archer, you can sing along with me there. But before you begin building your referral engine, you have to go through this really important step. You need to find out who's loving you and who's leaving you. So who are the happy evangelists and who are the already gones? Because you're not going to build your referral network on a base of clients who are upset with you. So imagine for a minute approaching an obviously unhappy client and asking them for a referral. You absolutely would not do that. So if you look at the already gones, those are the people in your database that you know you're losing, period. They are on their way out the door. What do you do about clients who are unhappy but not visibly so? So only 1 in 26 people is vocal about dissatisfaction. So thinking about outliers again, there's 1 person making noise and 25 people who are just kind of unhappy enough to put up with it. Outliers are noisy, and everyone else just quietly votes with their dollars and slips away. So I mean, I'm an outlier. If I am upset with a vendor, they know it. Right? I'm not sitting here thinking maybe it'll get better next week. I'm confronting them, I'm engaging with them, I'm explaining to them what I'm upset about. Most people do not do that, and maybe there's a tie in there between a sales personality and an outlier when it comes to service. Now, I'm essentially a sales rep running a business, so I'm fairly noisy. So the good news, talking to your clients is free, and it's going to save and grow your monthly recurring revenue. So going back to thinking about those 3 types of clients again, danger zone, happy evangelist, already gone. Assume that 80% of your client base is in that danger zone, and you can turn that danger zone client into a happy evangelist in just a few phone calls and by making a couple of proactive changes. So it's really easy to take somebody that's kind of okay with your service and turn them into somebody who raves about you. This process is also going to allow your already gones to opt out on their own terms, and maybe you can even help them find somebody else to work with. At the end of their engagement with you, you want them leaving you thinking they're not such bad guys, instead of bad-mouthing you all over the internet, right? Like, that's what happens when angry clients leave. Everybody hears about it. So if you can mitigate that issue, working with them to help them find a solution provider that's going to work better for them, get them off your client roster, be prepared to lose a couple of clients that you don't want to work with anyway. Your outliers are eating 80% of your time, and they're providing 20% of your revenue. So some clients are just better off with your competition. Let them go with your blessing. And then turn your attention into turning those danger zone clients into happy evangelists, and then asking those happy evangelist clients for referrals, testimonials, and case studies. So tying this all together, talking to your clients instead of emailing them is going to lead to more retention, a better referral network, no more cold calling, and more monthly recurring revenue. So I hope I've been able to draw a very clear line from you for the value behind engaging on a regular basis with your clients, doing small things to make them happy, and then asking those happy people to start creating your referral network. So here's how you can begin identifying and engaging happy evangelists. And I'm sure if you made a list right now of every client on your roster, you probably know who the happy evangelists are already, right? The happy evangelists are the ones that are already speaking about you. They're already sending you referrals. The already gones are the ones that are like putting in ticket after ticket and there seems to be no resolution and they're never happy and it's time for them to go. That 80% in the middle are going to be the ones that you need to gently nudge into the happy evangelist zone. So here's how you do that. First, take your clients through a detailed customer service or customer satisfaction survey. If you are not doing this on a regular basis, you run the risk of losing your clients to competitors at every turn. We specialize in poking holes in the service that small businesses are receiving from their IT companies. We know where to look for it. We know where you guys are falling down, and it is our specialty, right? Every company that we pitch managed services to, without exception, is engaged with another firm and getting their IT problems solved somewhere. It is my job to show that prospect why their IT company isn't as good as the one that I'm calling for, right? So there's lots of ways that your clients can be unhappy, and half the time they're not sharing it. They're not sharing that with you. And what we're doing is digging those holes. So what you want to do is make sure that those holes don't exist, and they don't exist when you are dealing with customer satisfaction on a regular basis. You need to ask specific questions to lead those companies to provide you with measurable and quantifiable facts about your services. Meaning, at the end of the conversation, you want to know for sure, in no uncertain terms, that these companies are happy with you, they are not going anywhere, and they are prepared to sing your praises from the rooftops. These companies are going to help you create case studies and testimonials based on the results of those customer satisfaction surveys. You're going to identify all the ways in which you'd like to use those. You're going to meet with them. You're going to offer them something nice in exchange for doing this with you, and then you're going to start asking them for referrals. This isn't an easy process. It's not going to be a labor-intensive process, but it is going to require a lot of your attention. So you want to make it as easy as possible for your clients to refer you. So let's assume now you've taken your customers through a customer satisfaction survey. Right, you've identified at the end, like, yes, they're happy, and yes, they are prepared to partner with you to start creating more opportunities for your company. Make a list of anyone that that client is connected to that you'd like to do business with. So remember, you've already identified that they are happy. They are not going anywhere. They're not considering leaving you. They're not disgruntled in any way. There isn't like a festering issue from last year that you haven't resolved with them yet. They are 100% happy. They are providing you with case studies and testimonials. They are ready to go. Make that list. Start with a small list where you don't want to overwhelm anybody. So go to their LinkedIn profile, find 10 people that they're connected to that you would like to do business with. And get a referral kit ready. Now you can put whatever you want in your referral kit. I'm going to make some suggestions as to what a referral kit should look like. You want a great big envelope that's stamped and addressed to the referral contact. An introductory letter that you have personally written, a copy of the testimonial that you built in conjunction with your client, a little thank you for even bothering to read all of this stuff that you're mailing to them, and a little personal note, right? You're going to put all of these things together. You're going to approach your client as if they were a board member. You're going to explain your growth plan for the year. My goal for the year is to identify 20 new companies, of which 10 will begin doing business with me. And then you're going to explain to them how they can help you. What I'm going to do is ask all of my happy clients, clients just like you, to participate in the growth of my company. You're going to ensure that they're committed to helping you. So remember, they have the opportunity to opt out at this point. They can say, no, we're busy, or no, we're not interested in doing this. But most of the time, if you've got a really happy client, they are going to be invested in your success in the same way that you will be invested in theirs. You want to show them that kit that you've created. and the list of companies that you'd like to do business with, and then start asking them to fill in the blanks. So remember, there could be a very good reason why they don't want to refer you to person number 4 on that list. Maybe they're connected on LinkedIn, but they genuinely hate that person. Now maybe they're connected on LinkedIn, but they know for a fact that that person has shady business practices and they wouldn't refer a good friend to that company. So there's plenty of reasons why people might refuse. So be prepared for that and always be gracious. And this one is probably the most important. Be prepared to reciprocate. Referral engines go 2 ways. So if you're going to go into a client's office and start asking them to send business to you, you had best be prepared to start sending business their way as well. Make sure you do as much of the work as possible when you're asking for a referral. So the easier it is for me to provide you with a reference, the more likely it is that I'm going to do that. If you sit down in my office and say, hey, there's 10 people in your network I want to meet, would you mind writing me a letter and introducing me to all of them? I'm going to look at that work and I'm going to go, yeah, I guess I could do that when I get around to it. But if the work's already been done for me and all I have to do is sign something and you've already stamped it for me, like, we're good. Thanks so much. Here you go. Not a problem. Remember to always show appreciation. People are not usually referring business to other people for money, right? So offering someone $50 to send you a referral, they're referring you because they like the business that they're getting, they trust you, and they want other people to experience the exceptional service that they're receiving. It's usually a matter of love and respect. And there is a study done about this. If they are referring you out of love and respect and you're offering them a token amount of money for doing it, if it's not the exact right amount of money, they may be offended by it. So show appreciation in ways that are not financial. There's lots of other ways to create referral engines with happy clients. You don't have to do it the way that I've outlined. I find that that way works well, but you can ask for email introductions. You can ask permission to just contact those 10 people and reach out to them by phone and mention the person's name. You can have a party, send out personal invitations, invite your clients, ask them to invite other people. There are a lot of ways to create referral engines. So step 2 in this process, now that you've gone out and looked for those referrals, you're going to have to meet with them. So even if there is no fit, so even if you know going into the meeting that the company that's been referred to you isn't going to be a perfect match for your services, when you're building a referral network, everybody gets the courtesy of a meeting. There is no such thing as a wasted conversation. And at the end of every meeting you take, you're going to ask the magic question, and this is the question that's going to grow your business. Who do you know that might be interested in our services? Ask that at the end of every conversation you have. Business meetings, grocery store discussions, everything. When you're trying to grow your business, this is going to be the most important question that you can ask anybody. And remember, reciprocity. If people are bringing referrals to you, you need to be prepared to bring referrals to them. So you're going to change how you prospect a little bit based on the idea of an aggressive, proactive referral network. Keep using your magic question. So every time you talk to someone, end with that question. Talking to people at the airports, talking to people at bars, talking to people at grocery stores, anybody who will talk to you that you can share your story with, you should be asking this question to. Just because they can't think of somebody off the top of their head doesn't mean they don't take your business card home, put it somewhere, and think about it the next time someone asks a question of them. Every time you meet with a referral, ask them for another referral. So if I'm introduced to a company by one of my clients and I meet with them and the conversation has gone well, whether there's a need or not, I'm going to ask them to refer me to somebody that they know. And you're going to just keep going, and they'll tell 2 friends and they'll tell 2 friends, and so on and so on and so on. That's how referral networks work. Start calling the people that you don't know in real life on LinkedIn. So if you're connected to 500 people on LinkedIn and you only actually know 100 of them, there are 400 opportunities to start building your referral network there. How about your Facebook connections? How many people are you connected to on Facebook that you don't interact with regularly? You only get what you ask for. So you can't be passive about referrals. You need to go out and aggressively request them from the people that you know. Another question you're going to need to get used to asking is, what problems are you trying to solve right now? What would be the biggest help to you right now? And is there anyone in my network you'd like to meet? So when you are looking for new business, even if there is no opportunity there. So let's say you've made a phone call out to a prospect and you've identified that they only have 6 computers and the companies that you're looking to work with need a minimum of 20 to be a good opportunity for you. Instead of just hanging up, getting off the phone and moving on with your life, ask them one of these questions. It doesn't sound like our services are a fit for you right now, but what problems are you trying to solve? Hopefully there's somebody in your referral network that can solve that problem for them. So once you begin approaching prospecting with a how can I help companies and not a how can I sell the most of my stuff to them, the way that you interact with people is going to change. And the way that your referral network grows is going to change. If you start bringing leads to people, it's going to start coming back to you. So remember, it only takes a couple of minutes to ask that question at the end of the call. It could develop into a lead for one of your referral partners. And the odds are if you're not bringing them referrals, they're not going to be so keen on the idea of continually delivering them to you. So make sure that you are asking questions while you're prospecting that aren't necessarily all self-serving. So that's about all I have for you today on building a referral network. There's a couple of ways that we can help you do it. So we can do your customer service surveys for you and help you identify who's happy with you and who isn't before they leave you. We can provide immediate feedback on your CSAT ticketing response systems. So if you're working with SmileBack or one of those organizations, when you're getting negative feedback, we can immediately mitigate that for you. And if you're getting great feedback, we can start creating those case studies and testimonials for you. We can secure those referral sales appointments for you. So if you don't want to build your referral network, we can do that for you. And we can continue to ask those referrals for more referrals and continually build a proactive referral network for you. There's nothing here that we're talking about that you can't do in-house by yourself right now starting tomorrow, though. If you have some questions about what we've talked about today, I would be delighted to answer them now. So go ahead and type them into the box, and I'm happy to share more with you. I must have done an excellent job. Nobody has any questions. Dawn, thank you. Always a pleasure to see you. If you think of questions after the fact, or if you want to talk about anything else right now, I've got another 20 minutes earmarked for this. I went through the content pretty quickly, so happy to stick around and answer any of your questions on sales appointment setting, managed services sales, referral networks, or feel free to send me them after the webinar ends, and I will do my best to get back to you. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you found the content valuable. Hopefully you'll join us again next Tuesday. I believe next Tuesday we're talking about peer-to-peer prospecting. So how do you prospect for managed services opportunities from one business owner to another business owner? That's some great content. You won't want to miss it. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today, and I will look forward to seeing you all again sometime. Have a great day.